A look at New Manila reveals a bustling district with a seemingly unlimited growth. But take a closer look and you'll discover an old world charm that takes its roots in our own country's rich and colorful past. Join me, Stephanie Zubiri, in discovering how New Manila has evolved throughout the years. New Manila, despite its name, is not so new. In fact, it's been around since the 1920s, when Doña Magdalena Hamadi consolidated the land she bought into more than 1,000 hectares of property. Since it was the first residential development outside the boundaries of Old Manila or Downtown Manila, the subdivision was named New Manila.
Why were people drawn there to establish their homes there?
Well, it was practical considerations, really. Manila at that time, which is the 1910s to the early 1920s, already faced some of the problems we face today.
As early as that?
Yeah, even in the late 19th century, as the city grew, it would perennially flood. And then you had also the heat. So these are the two things that New Manila, or the area that Doña Magdalena sought for, was something that was elevated and something that was cool. So in those days, even the advertising for the areas around New Manila and the surrounding subdivisions that followed would always say that it's much cooler here.
Because Doña Magdalena moved within the circles of high society, politicians, and showbiz celebrities, several prominent personalities built their first or second homes in New Manila. One of which is Tita Sandico's family, owners of the now defunct yet famous COD department store. A fashion designer that pioneered the use of native materials, Tita has fond memories of the place she grew up in. How was it like living in New Manila before?
There were only a few houses.
Yeah.
Across the street was a rice land. The big houses were here before.
I remember going out biking on the streets, and then at one time in our lives, my dad had some horses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we had them right here, like a stable.
No,
Yeah, I'm not
really?
joking.
Yeah.
And we would
You
go.
had horses here.
Yeah, horses. So we would just go out and ride them, just around the streets.
This year, Dita celebrates her 30th year in the fashion industry. After years of carrying out her trade in different parts of the metro, she decided to make her New Manila home her central office. Aside from being convenient, this move also allows her to spend more time with her parents.
It's really coming back home, and it's very convenient because I have a lot of clients in the area.
Yes.
And then there's a lot of commercial areas right around the streets, and it's easy to find.
And there are very few places, I think, or locations where you can have both your back office and front office, right? You
Yeah,
can
and
have
it's
your
kind of
showroom.
sometimes it's a little difficult that you have it apart.
Especially in design, because you have to be there. You want to see the quality of the work and then fit your client, so it
And
makes sense for it to go together.
Like you said, it becomes even more personal because my clients like to see me around.
Yes. The same aspect of convenience was what also made New Manila attractive to those who wanted to rebuild or expand their businesses after the war.
The post-war phenomena was that Intramuros, Central Manila, Binondo, Santa Cruz, these were already old centers or old central business districts. And a lot of damage happened during the war, so that after the war, Manila, they had to move out. And so you saw the emergence of secondary centers, which eventually became primary centers. Makati, Green Hills, and then Cubao emerged as centers of business. This now surrounds New Manila, and the development from the 80s onwards is that the centers have now include the Trinoma or North Triangle area. So New Manila was peripheral before the war, but now it's become central to all of these different business centers.
A leisurely drive through New Manila reveals that though it is undoubtedly a business hub, at its core it remains a residential district known for its high-quality home architecture.
There was even a competition for the most beautiful house in the 1930s. Consistently, the New Manila homes, which at that time were either neoclassic or Art Deco, yes, or mid-century, they would always win.
And Dita's childhood home is one such example of breathtaking mid-century architecture. It's a place spacious enough to hold all the happy memories Dita cherishes with family and friends.
We had a lot of them in the terrace where we would spend either Christmas or New Year or after school parties. And we were like 6 in the family, so we would just...
That's a party in itself.
Yeah, just our friends alone, you just hang out and we'd have a good time.
That's why for Dita, returning here in the midst of her flourishing career was one of the easiest decisions she had to make.
Why do you think that New Manila today is still as relevant as it was before? Why would people want to come and live here still?
One thing, the community is good. And then the accessibility to places.
Yes.
I would think it's still a bustling hub.
Yeah.
And people come here, it's very close to a lot of places, and there's growing families around. Not just the elders, but we would like to come back and say, you know, we once lived here and now we're still here. So it's a good feeling. It's a nice feeling. It's more like a tradition and being able to maintain the beautiful home.
The rise of New Manila is not only a phenomenon of the past. Almost a century after its initial development, New Manila continues to grow, attracting this generation's business owners and residents. All eyes are on this district as it continues to unveil its many surprises. This has been Stephanie Zubiri for Homes of Heritage. To know more about spacious living, visit the Sky Villa showroom at 1 Balete Drive, corner N. Domingo Street, New Manila, Quezon City, or call 416-8686.